Now on 4 News Now at 6, day 2 of record-breaking heat, but I am tracking a cool down on the way. Our fire danger, however, remains. I'll show you how long our stretch of warm, dry weather is going to last.
Our scorching temperatures have sparked multiple fires in our area. How many brush fires crews are already seeing on a daily basis in Spokane, plus what firefighters want you to do to protect your neighborhood.
And another school district is singing the praises of the 4-day school week, how an extended weekend is benefiting both students and teachers. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
We begin with breaking news from Chelan County. The sheriff's office says it believes they are closing in on 32-year-old Travis Decker, the Wenatchee father accused of killing his 3 young daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. Investigators say they received a tip of a lone hiker in the Enchantments area
who appeared to be ill-prepared for the trail and weather conditions. Thanks for being with us tonight. They also say the tracking team spotted a lone off-trail hiker from a helicopter near Kolchuk Lake. That hiker ran from sight as the chopper passed. Ground crews were called in and canines were sent out to try to track that person down. The sheriff's office urges anyone currently in the Enchantments or who has visited within the past week to report any suspicious activity immediately. And be sure to download the 4 News Now app and turn on push notifications to get the latest on this case sent straight to your phone.
Well, fires like this one in Latah Valley this morning are causing concerns tonight as we see record high temperatures for this early in June and no rain in sight. Firefighters say even small fires like that one can quickly get out of control.
That fire burned just west of Highway 195 and could have spread quickly up the hill, threatening hundreds of homes near High Drive. And that's just one of the fires that have sparked in the last few days. The Spokane Fire Department says is putting out 1 to 3 of these fires every day.
Our Hunter Bertram joins us in studio now with what you can do to keep your neighborhood safe.
Yeah, Kirsten and Derek, take a look at this map. You can see where many fires have popped up around Spokane recently. And this morning, you can see this fire in Latah Valley where it started. The cool thing about this is it's an interactive map, making it easy for you and I to track what's burning wherever you are. An important tool to have handy as fire officials today warned that even small sparks now can cause big problems as we enter fire season. It was a calm morning in Latah Valley until a fire broke out. An unintended grill sparked nearby brush in a homeless camp.
The earliest we can get there and get resources, established on that fire, the better.
Justin DeReuter from Spokane Fire urges you to call 911 when you see smoke.
Being alert to any kind of suspicious activity, and then just really starting to think about windy days, evacuation routes.
He also suggests having a quick plan for what to grab if you need to leave in a hurry. This morning's fire just below Spokane's South Hill could have easily become a major disaster, but luckily the winds were on our side.
We saw in LA, you get fire on the ground, you get some winds, and fire carries pretty quickly and cover quite, some great distances. So
in January, the Palisades fire in Los Angeles burned more than 16,000 structures. DeReuter stressing the importance of being ready, staying alert, and reporting what you see to authorities. Yeah, and this map I showed you earlier, you can find on KXLY.com. We have it linked in this story. In studio, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
Hunter, thanks so much. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker joins us now.
And Chris, our record-breaking heat is not doing fire crews any favors.
No, we do not like to see these 90s this early in the season with the dry conditions, drying out our fine fuels, curing all of that fuel for wildfires. And our high today, 91, back-to-back record heat days in Spokane. Our average high, 72. The record for today, we only beat it by 1, 90 degrees. Most recently, we hit 90 back in 1934. Our cooling trend will continue. In fact, we are cooler across the region today than we were yesterday, where many locations got into the triple digits, and there are about 5 records across the region. We'll be in the mid-80s tomorrow, the lower 80s Thursday, and the mid-70s Friday and Saturday. But this white line down here is our average high, and this cool down does not come along with the precipitation that we really need. We continue continue to slip below average. A fire weather warning continues through Wednesday for this area shaded on your screen, the Western Columbia Basin. It is the combination of the hot, dry, and breezy weather that we are going to continue to see tomorrow. In your Wednesday planner, 85 for a high, 72 is our average high. In Spokane, it'll get a little bit breezy in the afternoon. I'll be back to tell you more about that and tell you about the cooler weather on the way in just a few minutes, Derek.
Well, with wildfire season approaching, the memories of last year's destruction are still fresh for one local family.
The Grove Road fire swept through southwest Spokane almost a year ago to date, destroying one family's private wildfire fighting business. Marissa Rio is there now to show us how they're moving forward after that devastation.
Derek and Kirsten, if you take a look around me, you'll see that there are still charred remains that lay on the property here at Chewak Fire, the private wildfire fighting business that was almost completely wiped out in the Grove Road fire. While this family experienced tremendous loss, they've come a long way.
We ran around this end of the shop, and there was the wall of fire coming through those trees.
Memories of the Grove Road fire are still fresh for Todd Graves and his daughter Emily.
And it was getting pretty smoky, and we were coughing and choking.
This is footage of the Grove Road fire and what was left of Chewak Fire. The family-owned wildfire fighting company lost 4 of 6 engines, its shop, and all its records.
It was pretty devastating, just the thought of how much fire was here and losing everything.
Despite the loss, Todd helped fight wildland fires across the Northwest last season using whatever gear that survived.
I've been a wildland firefighter since 1978, and so it's definitely in my blood.
Todd has been rebuilding from the ground up. Today, he's back up to 4 engines and is reconstructing his shop. It hasn't been easy, and looking back still makes his daughter emotional.
It's very sad and very overwhelming because I know how much my dad lost, and we all lost, but my dad especially.
Still, Todd keeps fighting because Emily says that's just who he is. A first responder. They're still using a fifth wheel as an office, but Todd says they're ready to go full force this fire season.
That's our main focus, is helping the government in their time of need when they need more resources.
The message here is clear. This business is still working to recover, and we need to stay safe and do our part this wildfire season. Live in Spokane, Marissa Rio for News Now.
Thank you, Marissa. Spokane County Prosecutor Larry Haskell announced he will be retiring next month. Voters first elected Haskell in 2014. He says serving as prosecutor has been one of the greatest honors of his life. He's been with the prosecutor's office since 1998, but his time as prosecutor has not been without controversy. In 2022, he had to apologize for online racist comments made by his wife. Haskell's final day in office will be July 18th. The County Board of Commissioners will appoint a person to serve the remainder of Haskell's term, which runs until December 31st.
Prosecutors say it's time for the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students to stand trial. Brian Kohlberger's lawyers want the trial, which is scheduled to begin in August, to be delayed. They cite a recent NBC Dateline episode that allegedly violated the gag order. Prosecutors call the request an 11th-hour motion and say victims' families have waited long enough for justice. The judge will hear arguments on why the trial should be pushed back next Wednesday. All right, too much screen time and too little sleep is a dangerous combination for kids.
How Spokane schools and health experts say it could be hurting students and what parents can do about it. Plus, fewer days and better results. Why a 4-day school week in one North Idaho district is being called a game changer by teachers and students.
And up next, protesters clash with law enforcement in Los Angeles. We have the latest on the growing tension between protesters, law enforcement, and lawmakers.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by Findlay Downtown Toyota.
You You are cordially invited to Kerner Furniture's annual warehouse event.
What can you expect?
An amazing selection
With unbeatable customer service.
and the lowest Lazy Boy prices around.
Stop in now during Kerner Furniture's annual warehouse event and shop living room, dining room, and bedroom furniture all at warehouse event pricing.
You don't have to RSVP for this event. Just come on down to Kerner Furniture's annual warehouse event. Nice store, low prices.
At Northern Quest, it's easy to get distracted with over 1,500 slot machines, including 392 different slot titles, all competing for your attention. A sexy Roman god here, a magical owl wizard there. Whatever's going on here. It can be a little overwhelming until you realize our slot machines pay out $167 million in annual jackpots. You're not so distracted now, are you? Northern Quest. Yes, the best.
Spokane Riverkeeper and the Salish School of Spokane are connecting kids with the Spokane River. Through hands-on river science, kids are learning to protect the water.
We protect and restore the Spokane River for future generations. These students carry the language and history of the land, and their voice reminds us why this work matters.
Numerica is honored to donate $2,500 to Spokane Riverkeeper and Salish School of Spokane. This is how Numerica cares for kids.
Summer is here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's set to be a scorcher. But why suffer through another season of sweltering heat and box fans? Call the experts at Bill's Heating and AC. With a lowest price guarantee, free second opinions, and a warehouse full of top quality equipment, we're ready to make your summer comfortable without breaking the bank. Technicians are on standby. Call for your free quote today.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0% APR on select Sierra 1500 models. That's over $4,300 in average finance savings. We are professional grade.
Welcome back. On your screen right now is video of buses presumably filled with Marines leaving a base in Southern California heading to Los Angeles, where thousands are protesting immigration raids. Those 700 Marines are in addition to nearly 1,000 National Guard troops mobilized by the president.
Now, lawmakers in California and in our nation's capital are pointing fingers on who's to blame as the situation continues to escalate. CNN's Michael Yoshida is in Los Angeles with the latest.
After another night of protests in downtown LA, a much more subdued start. Still a small group gathering outside the federal detention facility. All this playing out as the showdown continues between the Trump administration and California leaders.
Tensions continue to simmer in parts of downtown Los Angeles as demonstrators face off against law enforcement and the National Guard.
The police shot the lady in front of me, and as soon as I said, hey, you shot a lady, he shoots me.
President Donald Trump is mobilizing another 2,000 National Guard members, doubling his initial deployment despite opposition from top California leaders. About 700 Marines have also been activated.
The federalization of the National Guard and then bringing in the Marines is something different. This is about Trump pretending that he is the king of this nation.
Much of Los Angeles hasn't been impacted by protests. One city official says while many protesters are acting peacefully, some are committing acts of violence and looting.
There are those that are embedded that are really attacking law enforcement. This is not about ICE. This is about completely dismantling law enforcement.
The Los Angeles protests have sparked similar demonstration in other cities like Dallas, New York, and Atlanta. In San Francisco, 150 people were arrested near the Immigration Services building Sunday after some protesters ignored dispersal orders and engaged in acts of violence and vandalism, that according to police. Border czar Tom Homan defended President Trump's decision to mobilize the Marines, saying ICE operations will not stop.
They'll continue every day, not only in California and Los Angeles, they're going to continue in every city across the country.
And LA Mayor Karen Bass says her office is looking into other ways to address some of the late-night looting and violence. She says that does include potentially a curfew for certain parts of the downtown area. Reporting in Los Angeles, I'm Michael Yoshida.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth went back and forth with members of Congress over the Trump administration's decision to deploy the military against civilians. Hegseth saying he's proud of the president's decision to intervene.
If you've got millions of illegals and you don't know where they're coming from, they're waving flags from foreign countries and assaulting police officers and law enforcement officers, that's the problem.
California Governor Gavin Newsom insists LAPD didn't need the help. This is the first time in 60 years a president went around a sitting governor to deploy the National Guard. Critics, including several Democrats, contrasting this decision to the one the president made 4.5 years ago.
On January 6th, with violence against the Constitution, against the Congress, and against the United States Capitol, we begged the President of the United States to send in the National Guard. He would not do it.
The president was asked today how long he plans to keep the National Guard in L.A. He said, quote, until there is no danger. And Spokane isn't seeing the number of protesters against ICE raids as Los Angeles is, but today a small group held signs near downtown Spokane.
This was at Washington and Cataldo. The group of about 5 people flashed signs that read, "No military in our street," and "Lady Liberty sees you and is weeping." They say they believe sending in military is actually escalating the protests in Los Angeles, where about 8% of the population is believed to be undocumented.
Particularly since it's LA and not the other places where undocumented workers are, like in Texas and Florida. I think it's designed to inflame and create a conflict within our country.
These protesters in Spokane say a bigger demonstration against ICE and the military will happen at Riverfront Park on June 14th, the same day as the Pride Parade.
A heat advisory continues until 9 o'clock tonight. We're still in the 90s in many locations. An extreme heat warning for Moses Lake up through Wenatchee. Cooler weather coming and a glimmer of hope for some precipitation. I'll share that with you after the break.
And before we head to a break, I want to remind you that ABC is your home of the NBA Finals, and that means there are some scheduled changes you need to know about. Tomorrow, you can catch a special edition of 4 News Now at 4 o'clock. Then it's Game 3 between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers, with coverage beginning at 5. And stay tuned for another special edition of 4 News Now right after the game around 8:30.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap and Associates.
Eric Dane, loved by millions as Dr. McSteamy on Grey's Anatomy. Now, his first television interview since receiving a crushing diagnosis of ALS. Powerful, emotional.
Who was your first call?
Good Morning America, Monday.
Is it time to update your living spaces? Don't overspend at the big box store. Come see us at Consign Furniture. We have the largest selection of like-new consignment furniture in Liberty Lake. No long wait times on couches to dining sets, rugs, and more. And our team will deliver today. Inventory moves fast. Check us out online or stop by today.
Consign Furniture. It's the easy way to sell, smart way to buy.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. Could they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
Now that's Montana Sapphire from Phillipsburg, Montana.
The Medellin Falls Bigfoot Festival, presented by the Kalispel Tribe of Indians, returns to Pend Oreille County June 14th and 15th. From Sasquatch-themed crafts to Bigfoot merchandise, a 5K fun run, and food vendors from across the region, this event is guaranteed to leave you amazed and entertained. Get your tickets to hear from the country's foremost experts about their Bigfoot sightings and fieldwork both Saturday and Sunday. The Medellin Falls Bigfoot Festival. For tickets and information, go to mfbigfoot.com.
All right, welcome back to 4 News Now at 6. Another hot one today, but we're eventually going to be cooling down.
You showed up with ice cream sandwiches today.
What?
I did. There's still some in the freezer if you want to grab one.
Okay.
Breaking news, Chris.
Wait a minute, though.
Oh, do I have to? Oh, shoot. Okay. Let's do the weather first, I suppose. Thank you, Derek, because it is ice cream sandwich weather. 90 degrees still in Spokane with partly cloudy skies. I suppose I should have some dinner first. 91 in Coeur d'Alene and mostly sunny. Just a beautiful day, but it has been warm. 4 things to know about your weather. We're going to be cooling into the weekend. Temperatures will remain above average, however. Breezy conditions in the afternoon, and that is especially problematic, as I mentioned, along the east slopes of the Cascades in the western Columbia Basin, but really anywhere you have a little bit of a breeze with such dry conditions, it can be a concern with wildfires. Some spotty mountain storms up along the Canadian border, just a slight chance. Our calendar for temperatures is interesting. We were right about average to start the month, then a little above, and each day a little bit warmer, peaking yesterday at 94. That was a record. Today, 91. Also a record, but we are cooling down and will continue to do so through the end of the work week. Our highs tomorrow in the 80s, no 90s, right around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, close, 88 and 9 Mile, Meade, as well as downtown Spokane. We do find some 90s elsewhere around the region. No triple digits tomorrow, 93 in Lewiston, Moses Lake, as well as Grand Coulee. Winds will be picking up a little bit in the afternoons this week, particularly on Thursday. But tomorrow in Spokane, wind gusts in the 20-mile-per-hour range, right around that 3-4 o'clock time frame. A day very much like what we saw today with the winds. Anytime there's that kind of movement in the atmosphere that can fan the flame of fire, it is a bad thing, but it really becomes more of an issue as we get into those cascade gaps. In Spokane, here's our fire danger forecast. We're just into that moderate range. When you see the green, that is a low fire risk, and the orange, that is a high fire risk, and that is where we have that red flag warning for tomorrow. Temperature trend, we cool down to 77, but above average through the 7-day forecast. 8 to 14 day is trending toward cooler than average conditions, which would keep us in the 70s. There's this sliver of green, but Kirsten and Derek and I were talking in the break. It's like a mirage. It keeps showing up on our 8 to 14 day forecast, and it keeps not materializing. So I really don't believe that we're going to see any precipitation until it gets closer to time. That said, there is a 20% chance of measurable rain on Monday, and again on Tuesday. We're just going to have to hope that pans out. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
What does it mean to be here for good? It means being here for the artists who dream, the shop owner who knows your order by heart, and the mentors who leave a lasting impact. Here for singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game and big comeback stories. Here for the long haul from Omak to Sandpoint to Baker City. Here for your family, your neighbors, for you. STCU. Here for good.
It's Operation Dads and Grads this week at both Cal locations, where you can get an extra $500 for your trade-in, plus delay all payments for 60 days, and enter to win a Traeger grill this week at Cal.
You'll love Yachtly Crew, a 7-piece SoCal band who has started a nationwide yacht rock craze, live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, July 3rd. George Thorogood and the Destroyers bring their roof-shaking rock party to the Coeur d'Alene Casino live Thursday, July 31st. Winter Music Nashville's multi-platinum star Gabby Barrett is an unstoppable force in country music and will be live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, August 14th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
Dupixent helps people with asthma breathe better. So this is better. And this. Dupixent's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. It's not for sudden breathing problems. It's proven to help prevent asthma attacks. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of signs of inflamed blood vessels like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, brown or dark-colored urine, tingling or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
I'm Chad Young from theeasyhomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With theeasyhomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Book your stay and play getaway today at Missisquoi.com.
Well, what if 3-day weekends were the norm for your kids? If you live in Idaho, that's likely already the case, as more than half of the schools across the state have already adopted a 4-day school week.
Our Alexandra Cohen-Yard shares what pushed one school district in our area to test out this approach to learning and decide to continue it for another year.
Since going into a 4-day school week, teachers here at Kellogg High School tell me that the atmosphere of this place has completely changed by improving the mental health of them, their students, and the community.
The 4-day week has just been a bonus for us in our district.
Moving to a 4-day week has been a welcome change in the Kellogg School District. Why? It's giving them the breather they have been yearning for.
We wanted to slow down our entire process of education.
After a history of retention and attendance struggles, this district felt it needed to change things up. Cutting back on days spent here felt like a possible solution. Now, a year in, high school principal Dan Davidian feels like this could be the way of the future.
I just know from a standpoint of working with people and working with our students, we're in a better place, and everybody seems to be just a little bit happier.
Kellogg is not the only district to make this switch. Post Falls and West Bonner adopted the 4-day week 2 years ago, and the Idaho Department of Education reports 76 are projected to have it next year. That's almost 70% of the districts statewide. But does this work?
With 1 year, we just don't have enough data to say, oh, it's perfect, or it's actually why things are better.
The Kellogg School District has seen some noticeable benefits from this new system. Attendance is up 5%, and teacher retention is double what it was a year ago. However, the long-term impacts of learning are still unknown, and some research suggests these changes could come at the cost of student achievement and growth. But as for now, in this school, it has meant happier kids, less stress, and a school community that finally feels like it's working.
And now that they're in it, I don't know if they'd ever go back.
In Kellogg, Alexandra Cohen-Yards for.
Pretty interesting. Well, all 17 doctors behind the nation's vaccine recommendations were fired.
What it could mean for your family's health still ahead, and too much screen time and not enough sleep. Spokane schools say that's hurting kids. What you could do tonight to make sure your child gets a good night's sleep.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Mamma Mia, the original record-breaking Broadway production returns. Celebrate the 25th anniversary of the most exhilarating smash hit musical ever. Coming to First Interstate Center for the Arts June 17th through 22nd. Get tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Watch Judy Justice weekdays at 3 on KXLY ABC4.
Judy Justice is now in session right here.
Judy Justice is brought to you by Russell and Hill. Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Call 1-800-LAW-0842.
Dupixent helps people with asthma breathe better. So this is better. That too. Dupixent's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. Some people felt their asthma symptoms improve in as little as 3 days. Dupixent's not for sudden breathing problems. It helps prevent asthma attacks. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of signs of inflamed blood vessels like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, brown or dark-colored urine, tingling or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. When you can get more out of your lungs, you can do more with less asthma. And isn't that better? Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic in asthma. Also approved as an add-on treatment for adults with COPD that is not well controlled and with a specific marker of inflammation.
My parents started their first dealership in Coeur d'Alene in 1983. They took pride in being locally owned and work hard to help this great community we call home.
Now, 3 generations later, we're still proud to be one of the last locally owned Subaru dealerships, and we're working harder than ever to give back to the community that has supported us all these years.
Because we're looking forward to being your local family Subaru dealer for generations to come.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Welcome back in. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning when I realized we could no longer have our windows open today, Chris.
Because it was already hot by then, sure.
Oh, yeah, we were in the 80s by 11 today, and we had back-to-back record highs, back-to-back weather alert days. It was a weather alert day today. It is very early in the season, and once we start getting into that record territory, those 90s, that can lead to heat-related illness. Meanwhile, a beautiful evening across the inland Northwest. A little bit of a breeze here in downtown Spokane, and that will be the case for the next several afternoons and early evenings. It is still 90 degrees in Spokane. Our average high is 72, so we are well off the mark. 91 was our high. That is a record. Our previous high, 90 degrees, set back on a couple of different years, but 1934 was the most recent year that we hit 90. 92 in Coeur d'Alene, 88 in Pullman. It was 98 in Lewiston. We had some triple digits on the map yesterday, so we're already starting to cool down a little bit. I will know later this evening who else hit a record high. We had about 5 yesterday. Meanwhile, hour by hour, your Wednesday forecast will be in the 60s by 8 o'clock. Might be able to leave the windows open a little bit longer, especially with partly cloudy skies. Winds pick up in the afternoon and a high of 85. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Derek?
All right, Chris, thank you. On your screen right now is video of a fire crew in Bonners Ferry putting out a small fire that sparked late last night. Investigators say what makes this fire so strange is that it burned at such a high elevation after the sun went down. Normally
cooler nighttime temperatures and snow melt at higher elevations slow fire growth this time of year. But that fire may signal what's ahead for the inland Northwest summer wildfire season. Officials want to remind residents to clear defensible space around your homes. High heat, wind, and dry conditions can quickly spread embers through communities.
Well, summer vacation is just a few days away for most school districts throughout the inland Northwest.
The last day for Spokane Public Schools. Just 1 week from today, Allison Martinez shares some of the changes this past school year brought and how it will impact your kids moving forward.
2 of the biggest changes the district has this year are a district-wide cell phone ban and the introduction of Engage in Real Life. Now, both of these work together to get kids unplugged from their phones and connected with their peers. Passing period at Glover Middle School looks like this. When the bell rings, it's time to catch up with friends, not on your TikTok feed.
It's probably been the most significant change I've seen in kids in the 22 years that I've been a principal.
The cell phone ban works in tandem with Engage IRL, a citywide initiative to get kids more involved in activities and sports. Now, both have been in place for 1 full school year, and the district says it's already seeing the effects.
When I first came to Glover, 24% of our kids were actively engaged in some sort of a club, a sport, or activity. This year, almost the end of the year, we're up to almost 80%. So 4 out of every 5 kids walking through the hall has participated in at least one club and activity.
District-wide, across all grade levels, the district reports a 36% increase in involvement. The shift made way for new clubs like Falcon Cheer. Students like 12-year-old cheer captain Kiki are taking full advantage.
Also, when I came here, we got the option of so many other clubs, and my mom was like, oh, she's gonna love these.
Educators say the biggest takeaway is that kids are acting like kids again, and school is a better place because of it.
It's opening up and kind of being like a tree and like spreading it, growing your leaves, opening your branches. It's really fun.
To find out how you can keep your kids engaged all summer long, you can visit our website, kxly.com, and find our Get Outside guide. There, you'll find free family-friendly activities. Reporting in Spokane, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
And as the school year comes to a close, you may be looking for affordable activities for your kids. Spokane Public Schools Engage in Real Life program doesn't just provide activities for students during the school year. It also helps connect kids with programs during the summer when they need it the most.
We really want to make sure that we make the process of registration, finding that just right activity, we want to make that as seamless as possible for our families. We know they're busy, they're juggling lots of things, and we want them to have that information so that every kid every day is engaged in something.
So coding camps and cupcake decorating are among some of the activities Spokane Public Schools is offering this summer through its Engage IRL program.
Well,
and after a year of the no phone policy at Spokane Public Schools, the district says it has seen more engagement at school. To build on that success, the next goal for SPS is to make sure students are coming to school well rested. Madeline Mullins shares how parents can begin to create these healthy habits this summer.
Well, for many students at Spokane Public Schools, getting home from a day of cell phone-free school means turning on the TV or scrolling on their phone. But for some kids, this screen time can be more than playing a video game after school. SBS worries that late-night screen time has lasting impacts on its students.
Anxiety, depression, lower attention span. These are just some of the ways not enough sleep can impact children.
Long-term studies have found that students with poor sleep habits score lower on overall standardized tests and have diminished problem-solving abilities.
Spokane Public Schools says it has seen these symptoms in some of their students.
We consistently hear from kids, even elementary age, that they're going to bed past 12, 1 o'clock. I think it's reasonable to assume that they're on a screen is the reason they're not going to bed.
Which is why Spokane Public Schools has set its sights on getting kids off their phones at home and getting enough sleep. With summer and more free time right around the corner, it's never too early to start.
And that is harder than it sounds because kids are addicted to screens, and I'm a dad too. Pulling that device out of their hand is no small task.
Dr. Ann Mason of the WSU College of Nursing says one of the ways to encourage less screen time is by creating screen-free zones in your home and community, areas like the kitchen table, the bedroom, or the park. Another suggestion, have a set bedtime routine and stick to it.
Setting healthy boundaries around screens, especially before bed, is a real challenge. But this is where we come in as adults.
Dr. Mason also says that leading by example and showing your kids how to put your phone away before bed teaches them to follow suit.
And another great way to keep kids off of their phones is by providing them with another activity to do. Spokane Public Schools Engage IRL website and 4 News Now's Get Outside guide are great places to find all different types of activities, many of them free, that you and your family can participate in this summer. In studio, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
All right, Madeline, thank you. Listen up, pickleball players. The courts at Holmberg and Linwood Parks will be closed starting on the 16th. They'll be closed for about a week while the county makes some repairs and improves overall safety. If you need somewhere else to play, the county suggests trying out Bidwell or Prairie View Community Park.
Well, artificial intelligence is significantly impacting computer and internet network infrastructures.
It's leading to increased strain on data centers and communication systems. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez explains what's being done to address some of the challenges attributed to the increased use of AI.
The more we rely on AI, the more strain we put on networks. Cisco's president and chief product officer tells me outdated networks could lead to an increase in data breaches, outages, and breakdowns as AI continues growing. Amid the ongoing race to accelerate AI development, which has attracted billions of dollars in investment, many computer and internet networks powering AI are struggling to keep up.
The core constraints around networking is because AI is fundamentally network starved.
Jitu Patel says some of the constraints include bandwidth demands, energy consumption, and safety and security.
If you imagine what the world would look like if we didn't have these infrastructure constraints, you would actually be moving at an even faster pace with AI than what we are right now.
Patel says new networks are rolling out to handle AI's needs. In the meantime, he believes it's equally important to focus on outdated networks since they pose safety and security risks, including cyber attacks, data breaches, and outages.
The outdated networks need to be patched, they need to be updated, they need to be refreshed on a regular basis.
97% of IT leaders surveyed see modernizing networks as crucial to deploying AI, according to Cisco research. Cisco says that CEOs and IT leaders believe improved infrastructure could add value to businesses by driving revenue and providing cost savings.
There's only going to be two kinds of companies in the world. Companies that are very dexterous with the use of AI and companies that really struggle for relevance. And what we want to do is provide the infrastructure so that every company is in the first category, not the second, and they can actually use AI to the fullest potential that they can have.
Recently, Elon University surveyed hundreds of tech leaders, analysts, and academics, including Google's vice president. More than 60% of the respondents said they expect AI will change human capabilities in a, quote, deep and meaningful or quote, fundamental revolutionary way over the next 10 years. 23% said the changes will be mostly for the worse. Just 16% said changes will be mostly for the better. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
All right, still ahead on 4 News Now, emotional testimony and new revelations in the federal case against Sean Diddy Combs, what his ex is now admitting on the stand and how the defense is pushing back.
Plus, all 17 members of the nation's vaccine advisory panel fired. Why Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. made the call and the growing backlash from lawmakers and medical leaders.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now weather is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Rain or shine, day or night, good weather always reigns at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. No matter the weather, winning is better. Your 7-day forecast calls for fun at the Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Coeur d'Alene Casino, winning is just the beginning.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Are you ready for an upgrade? Now is the time during the 2024 model clearance sale at Post Falls Volkswagen. Drive home the 2024 Tiguan today with 0% APR. Have a trade-in? We want your vehicle and we will pay top dollar. We also have cashback bonuses up to $2,500 on 2025 models. Don't let these deals pass you by. Head to Post Falls Volkswagen now, the home of 0000.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing NeuroStim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At NeuroStim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostimtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
These are the days.
The stakes do not get any higher.
I pledge allegiance to what I believe in. Live to fight another day of yesterday beat me, cause these are the days anything can happen.
The NBA Finals, Game 3 on ABC.
Are you moving? Make it easy with Dan the Moving Man. Reliable, efficient, and stress-free. Dan is your locally owned, trusted household and piano moving partner. Visit danthemovingmanwa.com for your free quotes today.
Well, there is growing backlash on our nation's capital today over Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s decision to fire all 17 members of the CDC Advisory Committee.
That is the group responsible for setting vaccine recommendations. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the details from Washington, D.C.
Today, several current and former CDC employees staging a walkout at the CDC headquarters in Atlanta. They're protesting in part the firing of all 17 highly vetted doctors and public health experts responsible for setting the CDC's vaccine recommendations for children and adults. The unpaid panel let go by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy in a message saying this email serves as formal notice of your immediate termination. The American Academy of Pediatrics is among those sharing concern, calling the mass firings an effort to silence independent medical expertise and stoke distrust in life-saving vaccines. Kennedy, a vaccine skeptic, said his decision is prioritizing the restoration of public trust above any specific pro- or anti-vaccine agenda, pointing out President Biden appointed 2/3 of the panel in the last year of his presidency.
You know, you and I don't ask when our pilot is flying our plane, are you a Democrat or Republican? You ask, can you fly this plane safely? Do you have the experience and the expertise to do that? That's what this committee was all about. And it has served us very, very well over the years.
The Senate confirmed Kennedy in February by a 2-vote majority, a crucial swing vote. Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, who is a doctor, he said then Kennedy promised him he would not touch the independent CDC committee.
It confirmed he will maintain the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices recommendations without changes.
And this morning, the Louisiana senator sharing his concern, posting, now the fear is that the committee will be filled up with people who know nothing about vaccines except suspicion, adding he's talking with Kennedy to ensure this is not the case.
I'll have to see. He'll forward me the names, but I can't answer that because I haven't seen the name yet.
Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Your Wednesday planner, it's still going to be very warm with a high of 85, but we're out of record territory. Expect a mix of sun and clouds and a little bit breezy in the afternoon, very much like what we saw today. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Walking 5 miles for $10. That's one way to earn some extra cash. But are you tired of chasing money?
Oh, come on!
Why not make your money work as hard as you do? Get 3.5% APY with an Ascend checking account and let your hustle earn dividends. Visit p1fcu.org/earn to learn more.
I don't think I'm cut out for this.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0% APR on select Sierra 1500 models. That's over $4,300 in average finance savings. We are professional grade.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. The winning is just the beginning. So you're looking for something to do? We got you. Want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you wanna do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Go to Lake Casino. At the Go to Lake Casino. Go to Lake Casino. The winning is just the beginning.
From urgent AC repairs to full system replacements, Bill's Heating and AC has you covered. See why thousands of local homeowners trust us for fast, honest heating and cooling services. We offer free second opinions, a lowest price guarantee, weekend service, free equipment quotes, and upfront pricing with no surprises. So call Bill's Heating and AC today and make this summer more comfortable than ever.
NIU has been serving our community for over 50 years. It's a broad mix of cancer care. We see all kinds of urologic cancers and take care of those patients here.
The partnership we have allows us to deliver all the different options all in one place. With a new diagnosis of prostate cancer, you'll have all the options available, everything from the latest surgical options to the latest radiation options, and so we're happy to help with that.
Most patients are referred by their primary care doctors. Patients can certainly always pick up the phone and give us a call as well.
4 News Now is brought to you by Perfection Tire.
All right, we've had a good stretch here of 90s or close to 90 for the last few days, but there is some reprieve on the way if this is a little too much.
Yeah, some people are asking for the 70s.
Well, ask and you shall receive. I've got some in the 7-day forecast. 4 things to know about your weather. We are cooling into the weekend, still above average, but we'll get down into the 70s for a couple of days. Breezy afternoons to help cool you off, and some spotty mountain thunderstorms I'll show you in just a moment. Actually, I'll show you right now. Here is our forecast radar starting off at the current time. Obviously, we are dry. We're going to see a fair amount of clouds drifting through our region tomorrow. Here's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. By the time we get into the afternoon, we do have the potential for some mountain thunderstorms. But that is it. That was not very impressive. It looks like you'll have to go over into western Montana to find those storms. What we will have, however, the winds. As we go into the evening, our wind gusts will die down a little bit. Still getting a breeze through the Cascade Gaps, though, in the western Columbia Basin. Wednesday afternoon, we'll see those winds picking up again. 37-mile-per-hour gusts in Wenatchee, breezy in Moses Lake. Not as bad, just a nice breeze across the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. Our high temperatures tomorrow will be in the mid-80s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 82 in Pullman, 80s in Bonners Ferry, Sandpoint, and Colville, but in the 90s for Wenatchee, Moses Lake, Grand Coulee, and it is those areas where the fire danger is still going to be high tomorrow. That combination of hot, dry weather and that little bit of a breeze that's stronger than what we'll be seeing around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene is enough to put them into the critical fire weather conditions. That continues through Wednesday, that red flag warning. Tracking our weather pattern, things have changed a little bit. We're not seeing the big ridge of high pressure, but more of a westerly flow is developing, and that's what favors the breezy conditions through the Cascades. And we're also seeing this area of low pressure digging down out of the Gulf of Alaska, and that is going to be sending us some cooler air, not cool air necessarily, but cooler as we get closer to the weekend. So our cooling trend continues. 77 on Friday and Saturday. That's where things bottom out. And then we're back up in the 80s for Sunday and Monday. I do have a very small chance of some precipitation Monday and Tuesday in the forecast, but that's several days away. And as I mentioned in the last half hour, the precipitation in the forecast has been like a mirage. It gets close and then it evaporates. So hopefully we can hold on to that chance. Kirsten.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Well, one of Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriends faced cross-examination from the defense team in the federal sex trafficking and racketeering trial today.
They're trying to prove she chose to participate in those drug-fueled sex performances and that Combs' employees helped rather than conspiring with Combs to commit these alleged crimes. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest from outside the courthouse.
Testifying under the pseudonym Jane, an ex-girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs, back on the stand for a 4th day of testimony. Today, the defense beginning their cross-examination, focusing on those so-called hotel nights, drug-fueled sex performances with male escorts that Jane testified she felt forced into by Combs. In her previous testimony, Jane called those nights evil, but today admitted to jurors she enjoyed parts of them, including the affection she got from Combs. And she said their chemistry with an escort named Paul was so strong they called themselves the trifecta. She told the jury she wouldn't have gone on a vacation to Turks and Caicos with Combs had she known a male escort would show up. But the defense played a voice note she sent Combs shortly after saying, "I had so much fun with you, and everything just feels good." A juror at that point raising his eyebrows and mouthing "wow." Jane also agreed with defense attorney Tenny Garagos that she was okay with being recorded having sex with male prostitutes and agreed to do certain things because she wanted to make Combs happy, including booking escorts for herself. Jane also acknowledged Combs' assistant Christina Coram helped her once when she had a bad reaction to ecstasy, getting her into the shower and making sure she was okay. The defense trying to establish an example of a Combs employee being helpful and not, as prosecutors have alleged, conspiring with Combs to carry out acts that fall under the racketeering charge he faces. Defense attorney Garagos also suggested Jane was upset with Combs about more than just hotel nights, questioning how she felt about his many girlfriends and his polyamorous lifestyle. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges against him and has maintained all sexual encounters were consensual. Jane will likely be on the stand until midweek, with the defense hoping to wrap up their cross-examination by Thursday. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
All right, before our final break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup here for your Tuesday night.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. Bracing for more. The LA disturbances. The war between the president, the governor, and the mayor. Confrontation on the streets of LA. Next, Inside Edition. Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
If you want to shine this summer and say goodbye to that winter weight, then this is the perfect time to join Move Fitness for almost $1 a day to get your body sculpted for the swimsuit season.
This is him. You need an eye exam. Wait weeks for an appointment? Now that's criminal.
Word on the street is at Stanton Optical, you don't have to wait for an eye exam. 2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for $79 all same day. Stanton Optical, easy's our thing.
Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical guarantees to keep your home safe and cool. Your comfort is Andy's priority. Stay cool this summer with a new air conditioning system from Carrier and turn to the experts. Andy's offers a wide range of top quality air conditioning systems that are both reliable and environmentally friendly. Andy's team of experts are highly trained and experienced, so you can stay comfortable with Andy's hassle-free installation service. Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical, your trusted Carrier experts since 1972.
Bathfitter showers have got people talking. Our wide selection of showers means it's exactly what we wanted. Seamless and watertight walls are much easier to clean than tiles and grout, and they stay in excellent shape. Every Bathfitter shower is backed by a lifetime warranty. And with thousands of 5-star reviews, the experience exceeds expectations. It's no wonder millions of Bathfitter customers love their new shower. It just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
It's time to celebrate all dads and grads. This week at both Cal locations in Airway Heights and on 4th Street in Coeur d'Alene.
And that means some of the best deals of the year on fun new rides for summer. Plus delayed payments until September 1st and an extra $500 trade-in value for your old ride. Plus, everyone can enter for a chance to win a Traeger grill at each location.
This is one sale you can't afford to miss. This week at both Cal locations.
At Stanton, get a 1-month supply of Clarity One Day for only $69. Plus a free contact lens eye exam. That's a whole lot of savings. That is our best deal yet. Book your eye exam today. Stanton Optical, easy's our thing.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Coeur d'Alene Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Well, coming up tonight on Nightside, up to 95% of teens use social media, but experts are warning it's causing something called digital distress. The warning signs every parent should know. Tonight on Nightside, starting at 11.
It's a good story going into summer, and with weather like this, boy, encourage them to get outside, put the phones down, and enjoy this beautiful weather. Maybe some showers Monday and Tuesday, but I have my doubts.
I just like that we're back to, you know, not extreme heat throughout the week. So
it's perfect ice cream weather, right?
There you go. Go get those ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah.
They're still in that freezer. See you at 11.